You speak for yourself, Gunga Din.
Great movie.
All right, here are the tunes. Y'all have a great show.
Thank you.
Come with us on a journey into the unknown, the unexplained, and the unbelievable. We will test your senses and challenge your beliefs. A world where science and religion clash. Or do they? You will meet real people and hear real stories, but you will not believe. You will witness strange sights and hear strange sounds, but you will not believe. This is the New England Ghost Project. Welcome to the nightmare.
It's hard to believe that we're still in the air. Welcome to Ghost Chronicles International. I am Ron Kolick, your host, the gatekeeper around the unknown, the unexplained, and the unbelievable. With me, my co-host, the god of infrasound, the gold standard in ghost hunting, and simply, the most important person I know, Steve Parsons.
You don't know many people, then?
No, not really.
No, I was going to say.
Well, Happy New Year to you.
Oh, thank you. We did this last week, remember?
I know. It's just for those who missed the show, we just do another happy little, because after that it all goes downhill. So just get. But yeah. So what the hell is Atlas 31 Atlas leaving us? Please go away.
Not still here, is it?
It's still getting reports on it.
I mean, for that length of time, I think it's got to be extraterrestrial. It's been around forever.
Yeah, I guess so.
The slowest moving asteroid in known history.
It's except it's, well, whatever. The it's losing mass, so it must be artificial propulsion.
Well, I wish it had hurry up and bugger off.
I know, that's what I said. Give it.
It's like it's been hanging over us like the sword of Damocles now since what? Spring?
Yeah, I'll keep all the UFO people with something to talk about,
Yeah. Good riddance to it. Bye-bye, Atlas.
Yeah.
Don't hurry back.
Something new, hopefully, coming.
31 billion years, we'll see you again.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So hopefully we'll never have to talk about the 31 Atlas again.
Oh, I don't know.
Although it's going to come up. Just like the mother-in-law, she always shows up.
Yeah.
When you least expect it.
So what have you been reading this week then?
I was actually listening to one of the podcasts on Parax. Actually, our friend Cat Ward's podcast, Cat in the Shadows.
Uh-huh.
And it was a gentleman on there, and he spoke very highly of you.
You mean Kev Kerr?
Kev Kerr. Is his real name Kevin, or does he just call himself Kev?
We all call him Kev.
Kev, yeah. I'm cool, Kev.
No, he is actually. He's actually a pretty good guy.
Yeah, some of the stuff he was. I don't know. He seems like he's. I agree with you. I thought it was pretty good.
We actually agree on a lot of things.
I know, but
it's like we're singing from the same hymn book sometimes.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Flogging the same dead horse.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. But that being said, he came across with an attitude of holier thou attitude. In other words, my opinion is the only right one, and that particular aspect I did not care for. But anyway.
He's always been well. I guess it's you're an American. Yeah, well, you're an American, so probably didn't like you much.
Well, he doesn't know me, so
yeah, but he was talking at you, so.
Oh, was he?
I don't know.
Anyway,
he actually did a very good series of like 101 type videos.
Oh, cool. You and him?
Sorry?
You and him together?
No. He did.
Oh, yeah.
They were at the time. I'd just been commissioned by the SPR to do a similar project.
Right.
But Kev's was actually that good. I said, well, he's already done it. Why don't we just use that?
Oh, that was good of you.
There's no point in doing the same thing twice.
Right, exactly.
And his was, pretty darn good. I watched most of them, and I complimented on, because they were short and to the point, and
What were they?
they were like the various different 101 type,
Like on what? Like,
well, all sorts of different things,
that's a big
equipment, electromagnetism, methods, all sorts of basic stuff that people really need to pay attention to. And as part of a series called the Quick Guides I was doing for the SPR, which were a two-part thing, there was a downloadable, which you can go to the SPR's website and download for free, if you're so inclined. And they are brief bullet points of good practice.
Excellent.
And then there was going to be a video series, like 2 minutes, each one 2 minutes long. Just before I'd done 2 demos, and then I noticed Kev had done some. So I had a watch of Kev's, and I said to him, and then later to the SPR, we don't need to do this. Kev's already done. Credit where it's due. He did a good job.
No, that's good.
And he's kind of got the rock star looks, like
and I
Dr.
get the voice and everything, and I know, I get that. Like I said, on the whole, I liked him, but he just came across in a couple of things. One of the things that kind of irritated me is he just used psychology so much, and it just drove me nuts. He was like saying, "Well, we know that ghosts are results of psychological conditions, blah 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 blah."
Well, we don't.
Well, and then he says, "Well, we understand, that the the ancients, we understand why they would think it's real and everything because they weren't too smart. Or they were like, they thought the sun was a chariot."
We don't. Well, we don't necessarily agree on everything, and I think I'm a bit more
liberal.
Sorry, what?
Liberal?
Not liberal.
Well, open-minded.
Yeah, a bit more open-minded to possibilities. I've learned, possibly because experience, I don't know, that things that people say when they refer to, and parapsychologists are actually the world's worst for doing it.
Oh, I agree with you, Steve. 100%.
They say things that are uncertain, but with a degree of certainty wrapped up in speaking as a scientist.
Yeah.
It's I always call that scientism, like it's scientific browbeating.
It's pretty much, yeah.
I'm better than you because
I have a degree.
I have a degree. Yeah, it's not mine, but I have one.
I bought it, but
I always think that's a bit. It kind of detaches you from the audience that you're trying to work with, because we don't have the answers to all of the questions, and even to pretend for 1 minute that we do is wrong and is disingenuous. One of the things that always used to frustrate me is that the way that parapsychologists and ghost hunters as well, or skeptics, would always jump onto bandwagons. It was kind of like the first one was electromagnetism. They all jumped onto the electromagnetism bandwagon like it was the universal panacea, could explain absolutely everything about the paranormal. Following on from the works of like Sir Persinger and Professor John Taylor and others who'd made these suggestions, but that's what they were. They were suggestions. They were often,
theories in a lot of cases, right?
There wasn't, in many cases, there hadn't been a lot of testing done.
Right, yeah.
But you would, and then with infrasound later, but the parapsychologists would talk about these things like they were absolutes.
Mhm.
Well, we know that infrasound causes people to. Well, we know that electromagnetism. And it was like, no, actually, we don't.
Right.
Uh, it looks promising. It's highly likely in some instances,
I
but
agree.
it's not as absolute and definite as you're making out to your audience. You're
Mhm.
selling them, you're trying to be overconfident here, and it's disingenuous of you. Stop it.
The way he sounded, it was the kind of the thing like it's like, well, we know that ghosts are caused by psychological problems, so it's like, don't even bother studying it. It's like, what?
Well, yeah, we don't.
No, we
We know
don't.
that some people may have psychological issues, problems that
This is true.
may result in them reporting ghost-like experiences, but
Uh-huh.
that's not necessarily the same as saying ghosts are explainable by psychological processes.
Right. My sister is in hospice right now, and
I'm sorry.
she, oh, well, anyway, uh, and she sees hallucinations. Now,
Yeah.
the coolest thing, and I talked to her about this. Yeah, I was visiting the other day, and she's well aware of the hallucinations, which is interesting. She can describe them, she can interact with them. She can't uh, smell them or hear them, but she can, uh, like there was a cat on the bed. She could stroke the cat,
Uh,
uh, but so but she knew they were hallucinations. So there is that aspect of it that
yeah.
maybe yeah.
Yeah. It's it's interesting, and in fact, one of the fascinations for me, particularly with writing paracoustics and paravision, whenever I've written my bit, Hal.
Look, he's busy now. He's doing a lot of
Yeah,
events.
blah 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 blah. But is discovering, and it is a process of discovery. You find out more cool stuff about people,
Right.
about how, we we've said it many, many times before. One of the worst things one of the worst traps that people fall into is the I know what I saw, I know what I heard. Because anybody who studies the brain and the way it functions quickly realizes actually we are at the mercy of whatever it wants to, whatever tricks it wants to play on us. But we have to trust it, because if we don't trust it, we wouldn't last very long. It is our guardian angel because it keeps us safe. It allows us to judge distance and speed when we're trying to cross a road or drive a motor vehicle. It allows us to make judgments. Is that safe? Unless you're a teenager and you just go and do it anyway and then end up in the ER. Um, we intrinsically trust our five senses. We have to. They're our survival toolkit.
Mechanisms. Yeah.
But our five senses are actually trying to second guess what's happening next to keep us safe. They're making, sort of a AI. It's not AI though, is it? It's real eye, trying to keep us safe by judging what's going to happen next. And sometimes it gets it spectacularly wrong.
True. Yeah.
So, I know what I saw, I know what I heard, I know what I smelled, I know, yeah, I felt something touch me. Well, actually, interestingly, when we were studying temperature, one of the things that used to come up is people would regularly say the room suddenly felt colder. It felt like walking into a refrigerator, um, or walking into, a freezing cold space. But there were times when that happened when we had objective, um, calibrated thermometers there,
Right.
and they didn't record temperature change. But what you have is, there is a psychological, sensation of feeling colder when you get, when the fight and flight system kicks in, when you get sort of keyed up and ready to go. Um, or because in every Hollywood horror movie, they've seen the breath
Oh,
condensation.
yeah.
Yeah. And so they kind of expect it. Interestingly, what we then did some experiments with our guinea pigs, aka the team, and we attached various temperature sensors probes to them. And when we asked them to report the temperature, not record it, report the temperature, how were they feeling? And often they would report feeling icy cold, or periodically they would report feeling icy cold, yet the temperature was going up.
Mhm.
And I remember from my physiology classes when I was doing nursing that actually one of the effects, and it's a repeatable effect that most people can recognize, if you jump into a steaming hot shower or a steaming hot
Oh, yeah.
bathtub, you shiver.
Right.
You give a little shiver. Now, that's not because you're cold. That's because the way that the different nerve sensors in your skin are arranged, the cold sensors are actually slightly nearer the surface than the sensors that register heat. So as the hot water sort of heats them up, they send a signal anyway that there's a change, which the brain knows are the cold sensors sending it, and it gives a sort of oh well, I better get ready. It's going to get cold in a minute,
Right.
which is immediately counteracted by the hot sensor, the hot nerves.
Yeah, it's an interesting, way the body handles
Yeah.
different things and how it
And
reacts.
of course, it's the brain that's doing all the processing.
Mhm.
So it's and it gets it wrong sometimes. There are people who can't see. I mean, there are conditions where the brain can't process information correctly, such as color blindness, or really bizarrely, you have a condition that kind of manifest in many different ways called synesthesia. And the synesthesia means that one set of senses is actually mixing up with another set of
Oh,
senses.
geez, yeah.
So you get this idea of people seeing sounds,
And
or
taste and color and so forth.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's not because they have any special superpower. Well, I would call it a superpower. But what they're actually what's actually manifesting is the brain is cross-wired, so the wrong parts of the brain are being triggered.
And we can see in how
And
we
it's
we
really
very
cool.
very
It's really cool.
individually as well, because we just have to look at that dress thing that was running
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
Facebook. I mean, how we
Is it blue or is it
yeah,
gold?
I mean, we each saw that, but we each saw a difference. I mean, it's so many other things. I mean, you look at sometimes they'll have pictures and they'll say, "What is this?" And
Well,
then
that blue gold experiment,
yeah,
there was another version of it done later
mhm,
uh, by a psychologist. I can't remember his name now.
mm,
And what he said is, in the original question that was posed, because it was often posed on social media or
right,
such,
right.
and people were said, the question was, is this blue or gold? So
Oh, so
people
you
had,
had only choice.
so that it was a binary choice.
Yeah.
Now, when the question was asked, what color do you see?
Mhm.
90% got it right.
Really?
Yeah, because they weren't being primed
Ah, that's true too.
to
Yeah,
do a
because your
binary
brain
choice.
is yep, yep.
So again, the way that you phrase a question, or the way that and this is done by all the politicians do this in their polling. They
Oh,
well,
sure.
if Joe Biden was to be run over by a truck today, would you vote for Trump?
Mhm.
And oh yeah, like 60% of people said that they would vote for Trump. Um, it's the way it's phrased. It's a kind of
Yeah, do you still beat your wife? You know,
every day when we play chess.
it's so do you play chess?
I do occasionally. One of my youngest son actually loves playing chess.
I absolutely love. I mean, I was president of the chess club in college, and I played number one board and the thing. But that doesn't mean I was really good. I was just good. Um, and I absolutely adore it and I love it. And I can't find anyone to play with, and it drives me nuts. I would play if anybody's listening, by the way, and they want to play chess with me, we can do it online. We can do it just by sending moves in, so we don't have to sit there at a certain time or anything. You send your move on, and then I'll send my move afterwards, and so forth. So yeah,
Yeah, over here we actually have most schools actually have chess clubs,
oh, that's awesome.
and within the community there are game clubs one's for chess, one's for Cluedo or Scrabble,
Right.
and people meet in community centers and they play. Now, all right, the eldest one, Ethan, he's got no interest in this sort of stuff. But strangely, Oscar, the younger, he's 12. He actually loves playing chess.
It's a good game. It really is.
I think it sort of absorbs. He's got he can be quite focused on things.
Mhm.
I guess if you want to label them, people would say, "Oh, he's on the spectrum somewhere," but we're all on the spectrum somewhere.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But he does have this ability, which Kat says, Mrs. P says he's got from me, of being sort of hyper focused
Mhm.
on things that interest him. If he's not interested, he's completely switched off.
Yeah, I can see that too.
But then that isn't that most modern teenagers.
Yeah. See, you've known me for quite a while now, and
To my turn.
I'm kinda unorthodox. I guess that's the way I would say. I I look things differently, and I do things differently. So, that's how I play chess in other ways, and it actually works for me, even though it drives other people nuts, but it does.
I've always been. I mean, I play chess. I've
Yeah.
played Oscar many times.
If you
He's
Next time you come over here, we're gonna have a game. It'd be fun.
okay. Oscar plays thoughtfully. He thinks out the moves, what
Yeah.
he's going to do. Whereas I play impulsively.
Mhm.
I just
Yeah,
go,
so
well,
you're kinda like me then.
yeah, well, that'll go there, and that'll go there, and that'll
So
go.
do you follow the openings?
Not really, no.
Yeah, me
Um,
neither.
I wouldn't say I play conventionally. I play impulsively. A move looks right, feels right.
Unorthodox is the word we use over here,
Yeah,
but that yeah.
and I lose a lot,
Well, it is, but it is.
but I win a lot as well. So
And I'm also so wicked stubborn too. I was playing, number 1 board for, college, Northern Essex, when I was going there, and we were playing against Suffolk University, and, all the games were all done, and it was, tied up, and my game was still going on, and I lost my queen. Alright, so I should have quit. I should have quit right then, but I didn't because I'm freaking stubborn, and I hung on, and then he made one stupid mistake, and he pulled his rook out, and I just slid my rook down and checkmate.
yeah,
Kid
uh,
would
it's satisfying when it happens. Regrettably, it doesn't happen very often
No,
for
it
me.
doesn't, it doesn't. Not
You
to a
know,
good player. What he did is he thought he
yeah,
had the game because he had my queen, so he was doing, you know,
yeah.
not
But
really thinking it through.
Oscar is a more thoughtful player. He plots his moves several ahead. That's his method.
So this is Ghost Chronicles, the chess edition.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I know that's my fault. I went down there. I just love chess, and I have not been able to play with anyone. So,
Ozzy loves playing board games.
me too. Yeah, whenever my son comes up, we play war board games. So,
Yeah. He would love a weekly games night, but sadly our lifestyle doesn't
yeah, it
really.
kills. I know it. I don't know.
We've got a large collection of board games, but you know, the intent is often greater than the time.
When I was young in high school, I actually designed this huge war game. We had it. It was 1, 2, 3, 4 by 4 boards together, So it was an L shaped, and the thing was huge. And you would play for hours these stupid games because they were war games and they were based on you know battles and everything else, and there were every piece of equipment from World War II was in it, and I made pieces for it. We played that thing for hours and hours. But yeah, I loved that. But whatever, we should get back to Ghosts or something, I think.
You remember the board game called Haunted House?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was bought one for Christmas when I was quite young, and you had to go around and first of all find the ghost and then trap the ghost in a like a cage or something.
Just like they do on TV.
Yeah. Like nothing changed.
No. Yeah, those are fun things. But anyways, I did like board
It's
games.
kind of like a ghost version of Mousetrap or something.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great game too. Wow, we are really getting into games.
Games are actually games are good learning tools.
Yeah. And if you're smart and you learn by your mistakes, then you get better at whatever. So, anyways, back to what we were talking about, which was
Well, hang on, we've got an ad break in about 2 minutes. Let's stick with games.
I'll continue with the games and screw it.
Why waste a whole half of the show?
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Strategal. Nobody will play me in Strategal because that's another game I'm good at. Yeah, do you have that in the UK?
No, I've not heard of that one.
Oh, it's all you have a bunch of pieces, and each one of them are kind of like generals and colonels and so forth, and just the regular foot soldier, and each one of them has a point value. When you put them, you set up all your pieces on a board so they stand up like dominoes, kind of, and then the other person doesn't see it, and then you take it off and you do battle, and the higher one when they come against each other beats the other one, and of course you can put bombs on the board and stuff like that. But it's a fun game too.
I got to admit, never encountered that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I should get
Play
you
battleships.
take back.
The boys like playing battleships.
That was a good game too. In fact,
we have we at the shooting club we have a monthly competition, and one of the competitions is battleships.
Really?
Yeah, where we have a like 2-dimensional battleship on the target board, and you have like, because you can see obviously all of the opponent's battleship
right,
and where they are, but you have to hit it like 2, 3, 4, 5 times depending on what its value is. And so you total up, and if it's like there are 20 targets.
Do you shoot at it with the real gun?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But you have exactly the same number of bullets as there are targets.
So that's how it's evened out.
Because you can obviously see where the enemies. So it's a case of, you can see if you want to sink the aircraft carrier, which is 5. It's got 5 little targets, about dime-sized targets.
That's pretty cool.
And then you've got obviously 5 bullets, and if you don't sink it with the 5 bullets, obviously you haven't sunk the battleship, the carrier.
When I was very young, again in high school, we used to build these like ironclads out of balsa wood, and then put like metal plate on it from Rector sets, and then we'd take our BB guns and I'd shoot at yours, and you'd shoot at mine, and see who could.
Don't get me started on BB guns. Back a year ago, because I was trying to get them off, because they've got these shoot 'em up games, electronic PlayStation things. And I was trying to get them out. So we were passing a gun store, and they had a range of Red Ryder BB guns in the window.
Yep, I had one.
And I said, well, I had one. I said, would you like a BB gun? No. The guy in the shop looked at me. He went, if my dad had said that to me when I was 14, I'd have bitten his hand off. Because obviously, we don't have 22LR as garden guns here in the UK. We're not allowed to. They have to be licensed.
Even BB guns?
No, BB guns are fine.
Oh, that's good. I think we do have to license them here in the States. In Massachusetts, I'm not sure, but I believe. This is a long 2 minutes. I think we would.
No, we've got a minute left.
Okay, cool.
So time to who's the show brought to us this week, Ron?
Oh, damn. Yeah, I see that now. Yeah, it's on the other screen. Yeah, you're listening to Go If You Still Are. I have no idea. Ghost Chronicles International, the board game edition, with Steve Parsons and Ron Kolick, and we'll be right back here. Oh, wait a minute. No, we are brought to you by Circles of Wisdom, 386 Merrimack Street, Methuen, Massachusetts, the Glant Messier Family Law Group, 50 High Street, North Andover, Massachusetts. Very good friends on Ghost Chronicles Radio on Patreon, like John and the chat room. And we'll be right back after the following messages.
Do you have a paranormal event, book, or something else you want people to know about? Then why not advertise it on Ghost Chronicles Radio? With over 150,000 downloads a month, get your message out to an audience that's interested in the subject. We have a plan at a cost that fits your needs. For more information, contact Ron Kolick at anyghostproject@comcast.net or call 978-455-6678.
Located in Illinois, there lies a sleepy little town where nothing is a common occurrence.
You going to that party in town tonight?
Heck yeah! I only turned 18 once.
That is until the night of celebration.
Where the hell is she? Oh no. No, 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 Jessica!
What's happening?
From the creators of Shadowhunters, Bite Me, comes a tale of primal terror and grindcore mayhem. Shadowhunters, kill, Jessica, kill!
Are you reading me? Come in. Hello? Greetings from the Shadow, and welcome to Shadowzine. My name is Jeff Belanger. I'm an author, podcaster, and explorer of the unexplained. For 30 years, I've been investigating the paranormal, UFOs, monsters, and things that bump in the night. Lately, you may have noticed how major TV networks and even social media networks have been pushing our favorite subject back into the shadows. I say good. That's why I launched Shadowzine, a monthly underground publication that covers your favorite topics in depth by some of the leading writers and researchers out there. If you're looking for 30-second TikTok clips, go somewhere else. If you're ready for a deeper dive, put down your phone and pick up Shadowzine. You can't find it in stores. This is old school print. Head to shadowzine.com and be part of the underground revolution. That's shadowzine.com, and I'll see you in the shadow.
And if you've survived the board game edition, this is the second half of the first half of tonight's 2 hours of Ghost Chronicle Mayhem. And we're your hosts, Ron and Steve.
There you go.
Get over it.
Oh, well. Yeah. So anyways, I don't want to say that, I don't like Kev Kerr. it's just the way.
I think it might just be a cultural thing. Maybe the way that the British say things.
Yeah, I don't know. We should have him on the show though.
Well, let's get him on the show. Vis-a-vis the way the Americans interpret things.
That's true too. And I know he thinks highly of you, and
he is a thoroughly all-round good fellow.
Yeah, because he thinks highly of you.
No. Because of the quality of his work, I guess.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Anyway, so we were talking a little bit about psychological and the effects of ghost hunting and stuff like that. How it's how we perceive things. Actually, I guess is the way. But
yeah,
the big thing too is that just because certain things occurred in the past, more than likely is the word that this is what's occurring now. But a lot of times it isn't. I mean, if you go to quite frankly, if you go to a doctor or you go to get a mechanic, and when they work on you, they go from their past experience. They know, okay, you had symptoms of this and this, then this is much what it'd be. A couple of tests can prove it or not. Same with your car, if it's making this kind of noise or you're having this thing, then they do with that. But sometimes it isn't. It falls outside of that bounds. That's what,
Oh, yeah. I mean, most notably, of course, with weather modeling or climate modeling.
Mm-hmm.
They went, well, we looked at the model from 2 years ago, and the 2 years before that, and when the high pressure does this and the low pressure does that, and it's going to rain tomorrow, and then it's a sunny, beautiful blue sky day, and of course,
they get paid for that,
I know. And of course, the same is happening with climate change. We have this large debate about whether man is doing, whether it's our fault or somebody else's fault, or volcanoes or asteroids or even 3TI Atlas. But the model, which they use to make the predictions about global ocean rises and excuse
God
me.
bless you.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Are consistently wrong, because they said New York would be underwater by. Do you remember Al Gore? New York would be underwater by 2020, and we had 5 years to fix the world. And yet, where do all ex-presidents and leaders of industry, when they retire from office, where do they always buy a property?
On the seaside.
On the coast. And there's an interesting photograph I was looking at the other day relating to this, this global rise in sea level. And it's the Statue of Liberty. It was taken in 1890 something. And then somebody took a picture in 2025. There's no difference. So there you go. Models predicted it, but then that's how it's how AI learns as well. It's how we try to model based upon previous events, previous experiences, and that's how we judge our world around us as well. If the last time you touched a wall that had a sign on it that said wet paint, you got covered in wet paint, then next time you will evaluate the situation and go, it's probably going to be wet paint. It's like, don't touch that, it's hot.
Still touch it.
Yeah, don't touch it, it's going to be hot. And what's the first thing you do? Touch it really quickly.
Yeah, that's
that's a failure of the model.
And the other thing is, you look at
don't walk under ladders.
Even the mathematical probabilities, like like that. If you go right down to the, you flip a coin, it's either heads or tails. It's 50-50. Well, it doesn't always work that way, because it depends on the sample. Over a greater sample, then it's going to fall into that model. But it won't necessarily do every time. It's just
but the probability will remain unchanged.
no. I mean, well, if you flip a coin right now, you get a coin.
100 times, the probability of it landing head or tail will always be 50-50.
Yes, the probability of it will be, but it's not the actuality of it.
Oh, the actuality. I mean, I've seen runs of 5, 10, 15, all the same.
Yeah.
But if you average it over thousands of runs,
exactly, that's what it's averaged over 1,000. Yeah. So it's difficult to judge. It's like, okay, this is going to do this. This will be happening. Well, it doesn't always happen that way.
No, of course it doesn't. But the thing is, and this is where we make mistakes because science models things, comes up with probabilities, and then it does something entirely sort of against the model or against the probability prediction or the prediction based upon the probability.
Sort of like Alice 31.
And then they look surprised. We used to have a saying, the Met man, the guy who used to forecast the weather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his job was just to open the blinds, look outside, and then lie.
That's good. That's true. That's got to be I don't know how accurate it is, but the weather doesn't seem to be. But then again, it depends on where you are in the world. There are certain areas of the world where the weather doesn't change very much. So
but it still conforms to it's more predictable. We in the UK we have our Met Office describe our weather as some of the most unpredictable in the world because we are on the boundary of the Atlantic, and a lot of our weather in fact yesterday they were predicting and giving out warnings for very severe rain for tomorrow. And the actual forecast for tomorrow is almost unbroken blue skies. The rain is about 60 miles to one side of us.
Yeah.
But
New England's like that too. It's
I mean, if you live in a coastal area, but if you live in the middle of Wisconsin,
right,
it's a bit more predictable because the weather features aren't as
dramatic.
There's you see we're influenced like you are by you've got this larger ocean on one side and you've got this large landmass on the other, and the two of them they affect the weather.
And we have the warm air from the south and the cold air from Canada, so we're always messing around.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it. Talk about weather, Steve. It was excuse me. There was a interesting thing about there are like 2 jet streams.
Well, there's a northern and a southern.
Well, I got this. I can't think of the name of it. There are 2. The stream always goes in a circle, round and round, and the same with the other one. There are times when the second goes counterclockwise.
Correct. And that's what's going to happen to us, according to the model forecast next week. Because the jet stream, because of the polar vortex, which goes...
that's the word, polar vortex. Thanks, Steve.
So if you look down on the globe from above, it kind of goes like anti-clockwise from above. So if you're looking down from space,
right,
the North Pole, it's going counterclockwise. But occasionally it gets its panties in a bunch and then it reverses direction. But not completely, it kind of like does a weird S turn. And that's what they're forecasting for next week, which will bring the wind from the east, from the cold European mainland. And they call it here in the UK, they call it the beast from the east.
The beast from the east, yeah.
It's kind of like the temperatures would be currently forecast minus. Now we talk in Celsius, so minus 10 to minus 25
Oops.
Celsius.
Yeah. See, we have when we have the wind, if it comes in from the coast, then it's well, depending on the season, but if it comes in from the coast, it's a cool air. If it comes in from the land, it's a warm air for the most part. So it's like you could tell a land breeze from a sea breeze.
Yeah, I mean, and that changes during the day as well because of
exactly.
yeah. But I've got relation. Or my wife's got family who live in Erie, Pennsylvania, and they often have they call it lake effect snow.
Yeah, that's brutal.
And that's and
Brutal.
they go to bed and they wake up in the 6 foot of snow in the morning.
Yeah, it's brutal. Yeah, they can have that. Thank you very much.
Although I remember watching the webcams for Salisbury Beach the year, I think we've got the year or two before the that hiatus that stopped everybody moving around.
COVID,
yeah, the nasty cold. And I remember watching
Chinese flu.
China. I remember watching Salisbury Beach and watching, places I knew and recognized being buried under 3-4 foot of snow.
Yeah, it's brutal. But
Wasn't that the year you bought a new snowblower?
What's that?
Wasn't that the year you bought the new snowblower?
It was. It was, and good thing I did. The poor thing doesn't work now, but yeah,
You've killed a new snowblower.
Yeah, I did. Well, new snowblower's getting old. It's like me. Yeah, that's the other is there's been a lot. I don't know. Has there been a lot of research on the effects of weather on the paranormal?
There's been some, for sure.
Because doesn't seem to be a correlation, does it?
Some people have suggested that there is, and that related to the spell immediately before thunderstorms. When the air is, and because at that time the air, when you get very dry, humid air, very dry, warm air, so the humidity is very, very low, you do have an increased electrostatic potential in the atmosphere.
Yep.
Which some people have suggested may have a role in paranormal experiences and sightings of, because you get things like St. Elmo's fire and all sorts of strange electrostatic effects in place. So in desert areas where the air is arid and warm, now in coastal areas, and particularly here in West Wales, what we have this time of year is the rivers are actually, although they feel bloody cold, are actually warmer than the air. So you have these very low-lying fogs, mists
those are so cool.
in the river valleys and the
I have that. Of course, where I live, so I have that.
and around bridges.
Yep.
So what you have in the UK is a proliferation of white phantoms, white ladies, and other figures, misty, ethereal figures, often reported near water or bridges, and predominantly in the cooler months.
Is that pareidolia though?
No, yes, it is, because if you drive through mist, you're driving along a clear road, you go down a valley bottom, there's a stream at the bottom, you drive through some mist and out the other side. The way that the mist swirls and forms in the headlights of the vehicle fleetingly, it can sometimes resemble.
So cool though.
Yeah, it's very cool, but it is interesting that there is this association with these white ethereal type ghosts very close to water.
We have all those ghost hunting teams out there now. You think that someone would start doing some studies on this and
You would. It's been anecdotally studied, and there's been these hypotheses, theories put forward that they are due to simply, low-lying mists forming. And if you look at the data, they do sort of correspond to the cooler autumn, winter, spring months when the water temperature is warmer than the air temperature, and so you would have this natural condensation effect.
Right. This people say, oh, electricity, that's what ghosts use. So, the more electricity you have, like during a thunderstorm, then,
Yeah.
it'd be better for, ghosts to show up. But, you look at, there's a place in South America, I forget their rate, but the unbelievable rate of thunderstorms every freaking day. And, and we're talking about strikes. And yet there's no reports of any ghosts.
No, but you do have I mean, you've also got expectation sort of rearing its ugly head. And again, this comes from Hollywood, because if you look at all the gothic horror films, Dracula, Frankenstein, other that always takes place in a thunderstorm. There's
Okay.
always the thunder and the crashes.
Frankenstein, right? You needed electricity to
Well, it was, yeah, but
animate the body.
so there is this sort of systemic cultural link between thunderstorms and paranormal experiences. Now, there is also infrasound in there as well from the more distant thunder strikes, and I've on a number of occasions managed to record thunderstorms from hundreds of miles away using the infrasound detectors. So it does travel, and it's not faint when it arrives. There are significant amounts of infrasound can be generated from thunderstorms hundreds of miles away, where you wouldn't necessarily see any evidence of the storm itself. But you have this, and there are many people that say it. In fact, it was one of the things that Persinger himself noted was that you have some people have this sense of foreboding before a storm, or the world feels a little different
Yeah,
before.
because they could feel the drop in pressure.
Yeah, they can feel the drop in pressure, but they can also are they also being affected by infrasound?
That's true too.
Um,
What's that old saying? You lightning strikes, you count thunder, and then you count the seconds before the lightning strike, and you can tell how far
Yeah.
the storm is away.
There used to be actually you used to be able to buy wristwatches back in the 40s and 50s. They were sold initially for artillery officers, and it was a device called a telemeter, and it was incorporated. Omega did it, Breitling did it, and you could get a watch that had a telemeter dial on it, and around the outside of it, it had a series of numbers, like
Yeah.
a tachymeter and all the other ones that they have. And this one actually was marked in kilometers.
Huh.
From 0 to 20 kilometers. So depending on when you saw the lightning and then you heard the rumble, the number of seconds elapsed, you could read off on the telemeter dial as kilometers.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that was quite a feature on watches for a few years.
Yeah, I never was aware of that. That's really cool, actually.
But I mean, most people get it wrong because you don't actually. It's over here. I hear a lot of people in the summer when we do get storms. You'll hear people go, "Oh, I saw a flash of lightning, 1001, 1002, 1003." Oh, it must be 3 miles away. Well, that's not actually correct. It's 3 kilometers away. So if you want to do it in miles, you've got to do the mathematics.
Aha! See,
based on the speed of sound being 340 meters per second in average sea level air.
Oh, we could convert that to English, and
it's actually slightly. It's about 343 meters per second actually, but it varies with the air density, so the pressure and humidity.
It's absolutely amazing we never went over to metrics. When I owned my education company, we were all set up for 1999 for a switch over to metrics. Never happened.
Well, we did. I mean, we went decimal with the currency in 71, and then we went metric for measurements And people were being prosecuted for using imperial measurements for a
Oh
while.
my God, it figures.
The health, the weights and measures people from, the local authority. Oh, you can't sell sugar in pounds or vegetables, but people. So we've ended up in a really, like, my kids. All of them they were brought up with the metric system,
Mm-hmm.
but they still understand feet and inches. They're not so great with the weights.
Right.
But and you often it's almost kind of like a standing joke here in the UK. You can describe a space, a room, as being 3 meters long, 4 meters wide, and 12 feet high. We buy our gasoline
Yeah,
in,
I always loved that one.
in gallon, in liters,
Mhm.
and then we work out our miles per gallon.
True. Fair enough. Well, there's the bell, so we do have to end up wrapping it up. So. But it's been interesting measurements and the paranormal and
Board games.
board games. Don't forget the board games, but it has been.
But each of them, board games do play into the paranormal because, there are board games that feature the paranormal, of course.
This is true, especially nowadays.
But a lot of the things that, we use to play games are things that we use in day-to-day life, how we evaluate a chess move, intuitively or thoughtfully. That same approach, that same person will tend to take into the, other situations.
Oh yeah, because that's who we are. I mean, that's how, people when they do their investigating, they're a individual rather than this autonomous thing,
Yeah.
rather
And
than an instrument.
so, that's what makes it fascinating. It becomes not just the study of ghosts and hauntings, but also a study of human psychology, I suppose. And
Somebody will be studying us one of these days. Anyways, we do have to wrap it up. So you've been listening to, if you're still here, Ghost Chronicles International with Steve and Ron right here on TogiNet and also on PowerX Radio, brought to you by Circles of Wisdom, 386 Merrimack Street, Methuen, Massachusetts. The Glant Messier Family Law Group, 55 High Street, North Andover, Massachusetts. And our very good friends on Ghost Chronicles Radio on Patreon. And also Reiki Infused Candles, Positively Brilliant on Etsy. So
because it's my birthday in 3 minutes.
it's your birthday?
In 3 minutes.
Oh, don't count. All right, happy birthday. Should we sing happy birthday to you?
Go ahead.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. God bless.
From ghoulies to ghosties, long-leggedy beasties, and things that go bump in the night.